What if the Avengers never actually won? Not in Endgame, not when the snap was reversed, not when Tony Stark sacrificed himself. What if every victory since 2012 was never really a victory at all, just a delay? Was every battle they survived, every world they saved, every ending they called heroic, only stretching the fuse on a bomb that was always going to go off? And what if the one person quietly holding that explosion back was never an Avenger in the first place? Because Doomsday doesn't end with hope. It ends with Dr. Doom on a throne built from the ruins of every universe that ever existed. At his side stands the Sorcerer Supreme, masked with a slot carved for a third eye, his right hand, his enforcer. And beneath Doom's empire lies the stolen cosmic energy of the one man who gave up everything to hold reality together. And the moment that made all of it possible wasn't some giant final battle. It wasn't a betrayal on a battlefield. It was quieter than that. A corridor, empty, silent, at the end of time. And in that corridor, Dr. Doom reached into Loki's chest and pulled out his heart. But the most terrifying part is this. Someone saw it coming long before anyone else did. Before any Avenger understood what was happening, Shuri was already looking straight at the end. Tracking anomalies in the fabric of reality, she maps the impossible. Universes bleeding into each other, crashing, colliding, dying. She brings her findings to Sam Wilson, Wong, Bruce Banner, and Carol Danvers, laying the entire catastrophe out through a hologram so undeniable that nobody in the room can pretend this is a minor problem. The scale is too big. The pattern is too clear. The tragedy of Shuri isn't that she failed. It's that she was right about everything. And the universe ended anyway. Because if Shuri discovered the collapse, then the real question becomes, what caused it? And the answer isn't some alien invasion or cosmic accident. It starts with something much smaller. A happy ending. Every disaster in this story has the same origin. A man who stayed where he was never meant to stay. In Endgame, Steve Rogers returns the Infinity Stone and stays in the past with Peggy Carter. On the surface, this feels beautiful, peaceful, earned. They are building a life together. They have a son, Jim. This was such a bold move given the Ancient One already warned Banner about how them removing a stone splits the timeline. Steve didn't just visit the past, he lived inside a reality that was never supposed to hold him. A lot of shenanigans later, Loki shows up at the door. He tells Steve about the TVA. He warns him that this timeline will be pruned because Steve was never supposed to be there, and Jim was never supposed to exist. Then Loki offers him a way out, a universe where Steve and Peggy don't exist, a place where nobody will come looking, the Fantastic Four's universe. Before leaving, Loki gives Steve a card, a way to find him again. For about 10 years, Steve and Peggy were living there in peace, until peace for them becomes catastrophe for someone else. Because that anomaly triggers an incursion, and the shockwave destroys Victor Von Doom's family and leaves him scarred for life. Now Doom is no longer just a man chasing power. He is a man who lost everything because Earth 616's heroes played carelessly with time.
Come on, buddy, wake up. That's my man. What happened? You mess with time, it tends to mess back.
Tony Stark said it himself in Endgame. Dr. Doom is time messing back. But even that isn't the whole story. Because once time started breaking, only one person was strong enough to hold the damage together. Loki spent most of his life wanting power, but the moment he finally got it, real power, cosmic power, absolute power, he did something no one expected. He gave up the throne, or rather, he turned himself into one. At the Citadel at the end of time, Loki grabs every collapsing branch of the multiverse and sits down, replacing the temporal loom with his own body, not ruling reality, becoming the thing that keeps it alive. He doesn't stop the collapse completely. He manages it, guides it, controls the collisions just enough to make sure the right people from the right universes converge before everything finally falls apart. That's how the Fantastic Four enter the picture. That's how the X-Men enter the picture. Loki is engineering a smaller war to prevent a total extinction, and he asks for nothing in return, which is exactly what makes him so dangerous to Doom. Because the one man holding reality together is also the one man Doom cannot allow to live. But Doom doesn't reach Loki first. Before that, another piece has to fall into place. A sorceress arrives with answers and walks straight into a secret already in motion.
Doctor Strange?
Can I help you?
You caused an incursion, and we're gonna fix it. Unless you're afraid.
Not in the least. Not in the least.
In the post-credit scene of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Clea appears out of nowhere and pulls Strange into the dark dimension. At the time, it feels abrupt, mysterious, like the beginning of a new adventure. But it isn't an adventure. It's an emergency. Her dimension is tearing apart, and she comes carrying proof. Proof that the damage spreading through the multiverse has Strange's fingerprints all over it. What begins as confrontation slowly becomes partnership, and what becomes partnership turns into something deeper, something neither of them fully names. But Clea enters this story believing Strange can still fix it. That's her mistake, because she knows about the Black Priests, the secret cosmic order, willing to destroy universes just to buy time, willing to become monsters so everyone else can keep believing in clean endings. She thinks that revelation will shock Strange. Instead, it confirms what he already knows. He understood all the way back on Titan that incursions could never truly be stopped, only managed. And the only person willing to make those impossible decisions was Doom. That means Strange was never Doom's victim. He was already becoming Doom's architect before Clea ever arrived. And once that truth is in place, the next question is obvious. If Doom has a strategist, what does he still need to become a god? Two things: power and control. Doom's plan requires two final pieces: the power to reshape reality and control over the machine that protects it. For reality itself, he needs Franklin Richards, a child with power so vast he resurrected his own mother during the battle with Galactus. A boy carrying the power cosmic, capable of creating entire universes from nothing. And Doom approaches him the way dangerous men often do, not with force, with kindness. He allows Franklin to heal his scarred face, a gift, a gesture, a moment of trust. But Franklin is still a child. He doesn't understand that the moment he gives something to Doom, Doom is already figuring out how to take everything else. So once Doom's face is restored, The siphoning begins quietly, carefully, invisibly. Franklin's reality warping power is drained without the boy ever realizing what he has agreed to. Then there's the second piece, the TVA. For that, Doom needs Strange. And Strange doesn't lose to Doom. He chooses him. The same way he once chose to hand Thanos the Time Stone. He sees no solution, only succession. The incursions cannot be stopped. So Strange selects the one man willing to win by methods no hero would ever approve. Doom becomes that man, and Strange puts on the mask. A design echoing Doom's own, with a slot carved for the third eye. He becomes executor, not prisoner, manipulating incursions, controlling the TVA, dismantling every safeguard from the inside. Clea stays beside him through all of it. She doesn't understand. She may never forgive it. But even now, all of this still hinges on something much smaller than Franklin, Doom, or Strange. Because before the masks, before the conspiracies, before the throne, there was a butterfly effect. One tiny accident in 2012. None of this happens without one moment almost nobody noticed. Tony Stark stops Hulk from getting on an elevator. That's it. That tiny interruption changes everything. Because of that moment, Loki steals the Tesseract. That creates a variant, an alternate version of Loki who eventually gets caught up with the TVA. And through that journey, this variant grows into something far beyond what anyone expected. The God of Stories. A being who sits at the very center of all of existence. That's the film's quiet thesis. History does not always turn on kings, battles, or grand speeches. Sometimes, it turns on accidents. And that's the answer to the question this story opens with. The Avengers didn't lose because they stopped trying. They lost because the story was never about them. Every sacrifice, every miracle, every impossible comeback, Thanos, Ultron, Hela, Thanos again, all of it was just a delay that changed absolutely nothing. Shuri saw it coming. Strange chose it. A child unknowingly funded it. A god died alone, holding it all together. And Steve Rogers started it with nothing more than a happy ending. That's what makes Doomsday the most haunting story the MCU has ever told. Not the throne, not the destruction, the fact that they never saw it coming.